My Swissies and Switzerland lovers, May has actually got off to a great start. The warm weather lured the flora out of hibernation, and here in Flüelerronft, at around 700 meters above sea level, it was really spring-like. 1,300 meters, it is a different story. Not much is in bloom here yet. The Reichenbach Valley doesn't get much sun, and so the flora here isn't really advanced yet. It is still quiet in the valley. The farmers are not here, and the vegetation has about a month until the cows conquer these alpine meadows. It's still fine when you walk across the brown meadow. However, when the meadows are high, you should no longer walk on them, because then they are the cows' dinner table. We love this time here. In summer, tourists are brought up here by bus. Then it somehow loses its magic. It's the same day. The Aare Gorge is located where the Reichenbach flows into the Aare River. The Aare Gorge is a 1,400 meter long and 200 meter deep natural wonder. You can walk through the gorge via footbridges and tunnels in around 45 minutes. On a hot day, the temperatures here are constantly cool, but the gorge also is very impressive on a rainy day. If you go higher again, you return to winter. Certain alpine passes only open in June. However, parts of the routes are already passable from a certain time, such as Steingletscher on the way to the Soestern Pass. After late and abundant snowfall, you can still find meter-high snow towers here at 1,860 meters above sea level. For Asta, such excursions are of course a gift. He loves the snow, and so I take him somewhere where there is still snow as often as I can.
And we have so much snow still here below Soestern Pass.
In my hometown, Brienz am See, the mornings already feel like midsummer. I love walking above my home village. I listen to the birds singing, and even after 5 years, I am still amazed at the fabulously beautiful area. When the weather is right, I also take a few short flights over Brienz with my little drone. I always make sure that I do not disturb anyone and keep the flight time as short as possible. You should also observe the Swiss drone rules. We had a beetle meeting here in Brienz on 5th May. The next one will be announced in autumn. I always visit the Simmenfälle in May. I love this little paradise at the end of the Simmen Valley. And in spring, when the dandelions are in bloom everywhere, it's simply beautiful here. Do you still remember at the beginning of the video and at the beginning of May it was still very barren here and everything was brown? Now thousands of buttercups adorn the meadow. The meadow isn't very high yet, but it's slowly but surely taking shape. In the Gottmanntal at 1,200 meters above sea level, there is a lot going on now. The dandelions are sprouting out of every hole and Rasta is really enjoying them. The Urnerboden lies at 1,370 meters above sea level. Depending on how much sun a valley receives, vegetation processes faster than in valleys that receive less sun. May is also the month of waterfalls. When the temperatures rise and the snow melts, it lands somewhere in a waterfall and makes its way down into the valley. Engelberg, at 1,000 meters above sea level, is also in spring mood. We hiked from Brunni down to Engelberg for about 1.5 hours. The meadows are full of flowers, and you can even see the first cows on the higher pastures. The marmot is also looking forward to spring. After its hibernation, it's time for new adventures. Marmots are typical inhabitants of the Alps and can grow up to 60 centimeters long and weigh 7 kilos. Spring is now conquering meter after meter of altitude. Mountain spring has now also arrived between 1,400 and 1,700 meters. One of the most beautiful seasons for me. Now take a look at our Reichenbach Valley. 3 weeks later, the meadows here are covered in dandelions. Another 2 weeks or so and the big feeding will begin. By the way, I am planning to accompany you to an Alp for a day. I'll be there from early in the morning and only leave when the farmers go to bed. You can look forward to it. By the way, May is also a great time to go on a boat trip. Switzerland is a country full of lakes, and some of them are in the Bernese Oberland. Here we are sailing on Lake Brienz, for example. The Klausen Pass is now open, and this pass is one of the most popular for motorbike and bicycle riders and leads to Urnerboden. But be careful, there may be cows on the road, so drive carefully. A visit to a city in May is also worthwhile. Many cities are beautifully decorated. Here we are in Thun, the gateway to the Bernese Oberland. You can see the Eigemönch and Jungfrau in the background. The same applies here. Always take a look at the drone map of Switzerland before you fly somewhere. All in all, it was a rather wet May. We had very little sun and I had to plan very well to get this best of video ready for you. The weather will continue to be unsettled over the next few days. The good thing about this weather is that there are nice surprises every now and then. And my tip for bad weather: grab an umbrella, a good rain jacket, and visit all the waterfalls in Switzerland because they look fantastic in May. Thanks a lot for watching my best of video, and we see us hopefully in summer.